Hey guys, we got our HenGear hen house box here. This is the big one, can handle up to 75 hens. And I just figured out there's a pause button for recording, so I don't have to edit this crap afterwards. So I'm going to be using that. We'll go through a kind of unboxing here. But we got ourselves some packing material. Just kidding. That's not part of it. And we'll pull all this stuff out. So this might take two hands, and I might pause once or twice. Oh yeah, it's gonna take two hands. So I'm gonna pull all this crap out and see you in a sec. And here it is, all out of the box. So it looks like we have a main mat, and this is what the hens actually lay their eggs on. We have the bottom of it, and I assume it's all wire like that, so that any feces or liquid or whatever can kind of make it through. And then it looks like we have, if I had to guess, this would be the lid for over top of where the eggs sit, the roost bar, a few other pieces, smaller pieces like corners in the back top and stuff like that. This is probably a lid that goes over the nest box itself. That's the top because that curtain is attached to it, and that curtain goes on the front, and the cutouts you can see here are where the hens get in. And so I'm gonna look at those instructions and just glance them over real quick and make sure that I'm kind of in the right direction, the right path, the right direction or whatever, and go from there. So it seems very clear that if anything you buy from USPS, if your shit ain't thrown, it's not a good quality item. So we got a dent there. What was it? That guy there was bent in, and I bent it back out. That has a few dents in the back, and looking at this thing, it's curled. So I gotta straighten it out. It's not like this thing's heavy either. I think it's maybe, 40 pounds. So I'm gonna get a wrench, read some of these instructions. It looks like they have numbers and stuff on them here. And I notice that on the parts, they were so kind as to put numbers with those little price tag, price tag things. So it makes it easy to identify what part goes where and attaches to what. All right, instructions say tray side, we need some 3/8 bolts, and we're gonna need this piece, the lid. So let's grab those two. These are the tray sides, at least I think they are. These. So we have 4 bolts here, 4 nuts, and they need to be put through this hole here. And that hole is the piece that goes between these. Once I figure out what piece that is. Maybe this one? Surely this ain't it. Maybe it is. Okay, go back. Great success. Lid is on the 2 end pieces that I just put the bolts through, and look how warped that thing is. Not a fan. Thank you, UPS. Moving on. So now we need to put this back tray right here on underneath that top and this. So that's part 12. We need some 3/16 bolts, and we'll get that back piece right there on. Crap. So I put these on, and look at this top. I'm thinking to myself, Ryan, this top looks weird. So I folded it up in its flimsy glory. And as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking to myself, there's quite a bit of space between there and the nest box side. I wonder if any of these other tops have a rounded edge on them. And sure enough, As I'm sitting here looking at these tops, I realize there's another one that has a rounded edge that I missed the first time I looked. And this is the nestbox cover, not that one. So I have to flip them. A little bit of DTD, but you know, is what it is. Be right back. Yeah, a little bit better now. Perfect ish. So we got more 3/8 bolts that need to go on the top corners of these. And that will hold this guy. You can see here, I got my bolts, my wrench, my socket. Socket goes on that, wrench goes on the nut, and the ratchet will drive these bolts in, so I'm not sitting here twisting them with my fingers. Bolts in. This piece is not a top piece, and it's thankfully not a top piece. It's the back piece. You swing it open to slip out the pad, which I'm alright with. I think there's a magnet or something that holds this closed. Seems to be. So that's the back piece that swings. And then we have a lower back panel. It says insert it from the front and slip it in, because these guys here are flanged. So they don't want you to put it in from the back because you might bend these top corners here where the 3/8 bolts are holding this flap. We got that bottom back panel on, and that guy holds the lip here, holds the back of that tray, or maybe the front. Yeah, the front, whatever, because this lifts up. There's another lip in there, and that holds the other half of the tray. So moving on, I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsors. Reggie, wherever Ron is. There he is, Ron, and all the other geese. They'd like to thank you for watching this channel and being a proud sponsor of feeding them. So from all my geese, thank you. So now we got to put on this little, whatever this bar is, some sort of flapper. I think it's to keep the eggs from being seen by the chickens. This guy right here. All right, we got that bar on and this bottom bar, which I believe is just support. All right, so I spent more time messing with this than I probably should have. This rail here with little fingers on it, I put it on backwards. This bar has a support on it. You can see the support right there. In the instructions, it doesn't actually show this support. So I flipped it around, and I went and looked at the instructions, and it shows this as the channel on the front, not the back. Figuring that out probably took me, I don't know, like 15 minutes to stand here scratching my head like an idiot. But you didn't have to experience that. Great success. So it's attached. I don't have very much more. I got that nest bar or the roost bar and whatever these are. I think these are for mounting that. And then we got the tray over there and the pad. And then we got the actual egg box here that we have to screw to the front. And we're almost done. So we got the roost bar on. We got all the parts aligned correctly. That roost bar might go underneath. I don't really care. Still have a whole bunch of screws. Not entirely sure what these for. Maybe they just decided that I needed more screws than I actually need. But I'm gonna look around this thing here and make a determination on whether or not there's any open holes or places that I need to put screws. We've also got that last bracket. Not entirely sure what it's for. We have this magnet here, and well, now it's become apparent what that extra piece there is for. We got some screw holes here, so I suspect it's another support for the back here. But this magnet here needs to go probably at the bottom there to hold this back closed. So I'm going to mount that piece here I'm going to look at the instructions and make sure that that is what it's for. Picky pages. That's exactly what it's for. It is for the back. It supports the extra large nest boxes so that they don't sag in the center. So I suppose now it's time to put these in. Got that bracket mounted there. It's got a screw at the top and the bottom, right there and right there. And in order to get all the brackets, the bedding in, you have to swing that out of the way. That's probably why they have a short little tiny screw on the end here, and a much longer screw up here. So let's see about this thing. This is very bent. So I'm gonna take this guy over here. Step on it a little bit. I don't know if this bend is factory. So it looks kind of okay now. Still twisted. You can see that twist. I don't think that's, I mean, it'll probably straighten out once I get it in there. We'll see. That up, pull that, that sits right on top of that lip in there. Should be where it needs to be in the back. So you can see it's a little tweaked in the corner there. It's up off of it. I think once I get that mat in there, the weight of it, because this isn't light. I mean, I wouldn't call it heavy, but it's heavy enough that it should hold it. Oh yeah, one hand. So that's what it looks like, I guess. That looks like a 15-degree slope or so, maybe 10. I guess that's enough to have the eggs just roll. So I'm gonna put this support back on and that fancy old magnet. And then I'm gonna try to heft this thing over in the hen house and get it installed. So the point, I assume here, is to be able to close this. And this seems to be a selling point as well, in that you can flip the roost bar up and down and stop the hens from going inside and sleeping and you know, pooping all over the eggs or the mat. So when you're ready, you just put this down. And here we go. So mounted it much lower than the recommended height. I don't think any ducks or geese are going to get, or chickens rather, not geese. I don't think they're going to get underneath of it or anything, or behind it. Mounted it where a pallet used to be. So now in that camera in the corner, right there, we won't have any chicken butt in the way. And hopefully they use it. Otherwise, this would be a waste. But we'll see. I guess the real question is, what would I rate this on a scale of fun? You know, it's a solid 5 out of 7. I don't know. For sheet metal, it's all right. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure, you know, if the hens don't like it, they'll tell me they won't use it, and I'll just have an empty box here with no eggs. So anyhow, see you guys, thanks for watching. I know this video is like, I don't know, at least 25 minutes long at this point. And if you've watched this long, thank you very much. And you know, the ducks thank you too. I'm sure they probably won't use this nest box because, you know, they're ducks. But you know what, I might be surprised they climb those stairs and lay in that nest box there. Thanks guys, catch you later.